Hi, I'm Willie. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. If this is your first time here, please click subscribe. If you're a return viewer or follower or whatever, thank you very much. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Now, if you need IT consulting, you can go to williehowe.com, fill out that contact form, and someone will be in touch with you as soon as possible. What we're going to talk about today is the Aruba Instant On switches. Now, they did send me this 8-port switch. It features 8 PoE ports and 2 SFP ports, and a fantastic stable of options as long as you use the local interface. So I'm not too hot on the Aruba app on the phone, which is one reason why I haven't really showed off the access points. I think it needs some work. They're definitely heading in the right direction. They're definitely going to have an impact on the market, but the app, I think, needs a lot of work, and we need to be able to fine tune a lot of things and have a little bit more control. So I'm not going to show you the app. I am going to show you the local web interface. The switch does run Linux. I have been using it to provision voice over IP phones, and in the rest of our surveillance videos for the rest of August, that is the switch where we're going to plug all of our cameras into. So it will power all of our cameras, and our NVRs will be interfaced with that switch. So let's go over and take a look at all of the features. And I'm not going to do an unboxing because it's been in the rack. I've been using it. That's how I know I'm really happy with it. I've been recommending the switch based on the local interface. Like I said, the app I'm not so impressed with, but let's go ahead and go take a look. Okay, so by default, the username is admin and there is no password. So we're going to go ahead and log in, and now it's going to prompt us to select a new username and password. So we're going to go ahead and put in our super secret password here. And we'll click apply. And now here we are logged into this beautiful local web interface. Here's our system OID. You can see the software version, the current time, which is not right, so we'll fix that. And then we've got system uptime here, 3 days, 10 hours, 26 minutes, and 2 seconds. And over here we can set a system name, so let's go ahead and do that. Sometimes I have difficulty deciding what I want these names to be. So we will keep it simple. And we can't have switches in the system name, so we'll have to put a hyphen in there. Location is lab, system contact, Willie Howe. But we can put a space in the system contact. Make sure you apply your changes. If you don't click apply, it may not work. There's our firmware version. You can see that the operating system is built on Linux. There's our serial and MAC address. Up here we have a beautiful graphical representation of the ports, their status, and if you hover over, you get the description. You also get, whether it's up and then what speed it is negotiated at. Very, very, very nice interface here. We can, if you have a lot of these and you're not sure which one they are, you can do the device locator LED, and to turn that on, you have to click apply. And then once you have found your switch, you can always go back in and turn this option off. But remember, this is one of those weird things where you have to click apply. So if you just slide that on and you don't click apply, then it's not on. So we'll turn that off. Up here, there's the save configuration. You've got the refresh, you've got help, which just goes through some general help things. It doesn't actually change anything. It's literally online help. There's our username, active users, logged in users. So like I said, that is literally just help up there. Little hamburger icon there has your side menu. So under network, you can see we're set to DHCP. By default, both HTTP and HTTPS is enabled. And then our management VLAN right now is VLAN 1 is the only VLAN we have set up. Here is where we can change our system time. So you can see that it is not correct. So we'll go to SNTP, and we'll put in our usual, but we'll see if it's going to work here. We click apply. It does not like that. So for NTP, it only wants a valid version 4 IP. So we're going to do an NS lookup on this, and we're going to select one of those IPs for now, and we will copy and paste that into the system, and that should make it much happier. And so you can see it instantly updated to the new date and time. And then we have the daylight savings time. I don't know if just using that will do it or not, but we'll see. Here's our current logged in users. Here's our user accounts. So we can add a user account, and you can see that we have read-write access or read-only. Those are the only permissions here. Now, I have not SSH'd in to see if those are different. Under the account security settings, we have password aging, so we can make that password age out. We can lock the account out after so many bad attempts. We can do password strength enforcement with all of these different options. So we can allow it so you cannot repeat characters. And a lot of times you see that, but we're not going to mess with that right now. You can also exclude passwords from being able to be used. So here, we're just going to exclude the word feather. And now you can see the word feather cannot be used in passwords. So that's actually a pretty useful feature. All right, under switching, we've got our global configuration here. And you can see this is kind of the interfaces overview, and you can select one interface and edit just that one interface. We can enter a description here. So this is our uplink to our QNAP switch. And now you can see the description there. We can come in here and we can, admin the port down. There's our spanning tree, our link trap. We've got broadcast storm control. We've got multicast storm control, unicast storm control. We've got all control over all the storms. All right, so we can also do an edit all ports simultaneously. So there's that flow control, the storm control, the link flap prevention, and then we can also enable jumbo frames. So by default, you're going to have a 1500 MTU. Here is our interface statistics. We can do port mirroring. We have loop protection, and you can see that it is disabled by default, so you can turn that on. And what I just did actually doesn't work. I had to remember to click the edit button, enable the loop protection, and apply it. And now you can see that the loop protection is enabled there. We've got IGMP snooping, so you're seeing features that we would expect to see on a managed switch. SNMP, we can enable or disable that. We've got our interface auto recovery options here, and port security is available on this switch. We've got that link flap protection, the BPDU guard storm control. Now, what they are calling trunks here are not necessarily what you may think of as a trunk. What they are calling a trunk is actually LAG, a link aggregation group, or LACP. And so you can see if we have a trunk, we can put multiple ports into that. So it is a bond or an ether channel or a lag group, whatever you want to call it. Here is the power saving options, the energy saving options. You get a global status of your estimated energy savings, which is kind of cool. Here's all of our spanning tree options. So the spanning tree admin mode, you would have to turn that on. So you've got a spanning tree, rapid spanning tree, and then MSTP. You can set your bridge priority. We've talked about this a little bit. But what I really like about this is I like the interface here, and it takes just a second to apply these settings, but what I really like is where you see all of the information here that talks about the root bridge and the cost for the path and the forward delay, and you get like a real nice snapshot of the information here, and I really like that. We're not going to touch any of these other settings at the moment. Just know that that they are here, and that if we get multiple switches, we will configure that. Here's our VLAN setup. So you can see that right now we're accepting all different types of VLANs on the ports, whether they're tagged or untagged. We're going to go ahead and create VLAN 25. We're going to call this voice, and we'll apply that. And now what we have to do is we have to select that, edit the interfaces, and then we're going to have to include, and we want it to be tagged. So now we can pass traffic on VLAN 25 on those ports. So you also have this graphical representation of the VLAN here, and you can change it here. You actually have to change it from the drop down there next to the switch, but you can make those changes. I really like this interface. Then we've got voice VLAN auto setup, which is really cool. When we get into some more of the Grand Stream videos in a couple months, we are going to talk about a lot of the voice VLAN setup, quality of service, class of service, and things like that. Here we've got our LLDP and our LLDP MED, however you want to pronounce that, MED. We've got our PoE configuration here. So you can see the graphical representation of this switch. I don't know why I'm so impressed with it, but I don't know. I like bright colors, I guess. But you can see all of the port configurations for our PoE down here. We are doing 0 watts of consumption. I'm not sure why I got a faulty status there. Here you can do PoE scheduling, which is really nice. The switch will do some routing. It will do some static routing. So we may mess around with that. I do like to do some routing at the switch level, depending on what I'm doing. So we'll let switches handle that. DHCP relay, here's our ARP table. Here's our quality of service, the access control list, the ACLs for quality of service. So we'll be able to start building those out. I really like this switch. We may feature it for a while. Here's your class of service, and whether you want to get into your DSCP markings. And then, look at the options on this switch. This switch is sub $200. I can't even believe it. As far as security goes, the switch has a lot of security options. So we can do radius configuration with this using all the standard default ports. We've got our global configuration here, so we can tell it which one is the guest VLAN. Just some of the options that we have on this switch, or at least the way they have them exposed, is very, very nice, and it will make some of the configuration that you want to do that much easier. So we've got port security here, and this is really the port security that I like. So if we edit this, you can see we can turn that on. If there's a violation, we can shut the port off. How many MAC addresses do we want through there? So there's just one. And then sticky MAC address is learned dynamically. Here is the protected port setup. We've got DHCP snooping. A lot of times we will use this on the network for security. It's got ARP attack protection. And if you want to know about any of these other features, like the denial of service protection, here's also the certificate status. But if you want to know about any more of this stuff in depth, let me know, and we'll just do one-off videos on these specific features. Under Diagnostic, here is our log file. We can do a ping out to see if the switch can get out, even into the network or out on the internet, and you can see, boom, 1.1.1.1. We got a trace route, so you can do the same type of thing, but it's a graphical representation. We can generate a support file. Here's our MAC address table. You can see that this thing supports over 16,000 MAC addresses in its table. Here's your Armon statistics. and then here's your maintenance. So we can talk about what our backup image is, active image as far as the firmware goes. We can do backup of the switch files. We can copy from running to startup. Here we can reboot or we can reset to factory. So once again, I am super impressed with this switch. Super impressed. So it's going to hang around for a while, but if you got any questions, go ahead and put them down in the description. All right, that's it for this video. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Share the videos, leave comments, all those good things. If you need IT consulting, go to williehowe.com, fill out that contact form, and someone will be in touch. Someone will be in touch as soon as possible. If you want to support the channel by using our affiliate links, they are all posted below. Don't feel obligated to do that, but it is appreciated. It doesn't change your price, but it does kick a couple of bucks over to the channel. Once again, I'm Willie. I want to thank you for being here. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.